Hey there, and welcome into another exciting episode of A for Effort. I'm your host, Matt, and as always, we start off giving thanks to our unofficial sponsor of the podcast, AMC A-List. $19.95 a month gets you 3 movies a week at local AMC theaters in your area. Check out AMC.com for theater listings and offer availability. Today's episode, we're going to break down a movie that I was hopeful for and came away wanting more, and that is Bumblebee. Now, when I say I wanted more, I mean that in a good way this time, because this movie was great. I'm not afraid to admit that I did not like Transformers 2, 3, 4, or 5. Those movies are all garbage. The original Transformers took me back to my childhood in a way that I never expected. The opening of that movie is one of my favorite openings in any movie because you get to see that helicopter transform and it is glorious and all of that moment. But the other movies just fell short on plot, on transforming, on all the things that a Transformer movie should be. And this movie was everything I needed it to be. There's an opening sequence on Cybertron that is just all the transforming glory that you ever would want. There's a sequence in the middle with Optimus Prime. There's a sequence where Bumblebee fights Blitzkrieg in broad daylight, which would never happen in a Michael Bay Transformers movie because Michael Bay loved everything to be at night or have a backdrop of an American flag. One of the things I hated about the Michael Bay Transformers movies were after a while it just became more about the humans and less about the Transformers, and the Transformers were just backdrop settings. In one scene they're in a car, and then the next scene they're a robot. Where's the transforming in a Transformers movie? This movie does not shy away from any of that. There's a legit scene where she's teaching him how to hide from people, and it's legit him going in and out of being a car for like 5 minutes. And it's everything I needed it to be. Like, I love it. I loved it. I had such a good time. Travis Knight directed it. He's up for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I'd love to see what he does with those characters. He did a great job with Bumblebee. I had a lot of fun. Haley Steinfeld, Jorge Lindborg Jr., John Cena, Jason Drucker, Pamela Adlon, and Steven Schneider, all star. Again, John Cena, I've said it in previous movies this year, Blocker specifically, that John Cena is a great actor and he doesn't get enough love. He is great. I love when he's in these movies, and this is the first time I think he's had like a really starring role that, yes, he was in Blockers, it was very comedic, but in this it was a little bit more serious, and I had a lot of fun with it. He was great. Some of the Transformers voices, Dylan O'Brien does the voice of Bumblebee before he loses his voice. Peter Cullen is back as Optimus Prime. Angela Bassett plays Shatter, and Justin Theroux plays Dropkick. They're the 2 triple changers that come after Bumblebee. Just an outstanding movie. I had so much fun. I can't believe I'm saying this, that I actually enjoyed a Transformers movie. Like, I'm so glad I got to see this, and I'm so happy. I hope they continue this trend, this style of movie. It wasn't Transformer heavy. There was maybe 5 to 7 Transformers in it total, and it was a lot of like relationship building between Bumblebee and Charlie, who is Haley Steinfeld's character. But I had a lot of fun because a lot of the movie centers around Bumblebee having lost his memories and doesn't know what he is or who he is, doesn't have his voice anymore, and it's just an outstanding movie. Like, I had a lot of fun. It takes you back to a simpler time, the 80s setting, the 80s backdrop, the kind of 80s movie it was, kind of very E.T., Close Encounters, that style, Back to the Future kind of movie that it was. Like, it was a lot of fun, and I just walked out with a smile on my face. Like, it was one of those movies that I'm glad I got to see. I was so skeptical going in because Michael Bay had ruined Transformers for me, but coming out of this, Travis Knight kind of restored my faith in Transformers, and I want to see another movie like the one I just got, and I want to see more Cybertron. I want to see more of these Transformers. Optimus Prime looked like the toys I used to play with. It was great. Bumblebee was actually a Volkswagen Beetle. And yes, of course, he turns into the Corvette that he starts the original movie as at the end of it. But that's okay. I'm cool. But I got the movie that I wanted. I got a movie where he was a Volkswagen Beetle. There was one part that I didn't particularly like where he gets the name Bumblebee, because in the movie he's known as B127. and that's his like name. Like Optimus Prime has a name, but he's known as B127 over on Cybertron. And when he doesn't have a voice and all he can do is beeps and squeaks out of the car, Haley Steinfeld gives him the name Bumblebee because he sounds like a bumblebee. I'm a little bit, like that wasn't the greatest. It's kind of like Solo, where like he walks up to sign up for the Imperial Army and the guy says, what's your family name? And he says, I don't got one, so he names him Han Solo. It's kind of similar to that. That was the one kind of cringeworthy moment from the movie. But other than that, I had a lot of fun. And even at the end, when it comes full circle, when he meets up with Optimus after having defeated the bad guys by himself, and Optimus says, we got to call our friends B127, and he says, call me Bumblebee. And it was like, I was like, okay. All right, you kind of brought it back, and I'm okay with that. It was a really good time at the movies. Go see it. A+ from A for Effort. What a good time. Bumblebee kind of saved the end of the year for me. I was like, I had a high with Spider-Verse, then kind of dipped a little bit with Aquaman, even though that movie was still good. Then it dipped really hard with Mary Poppins. I was kind of like, ugh. Is that the last movie I'm going to see this year? And then I came back up and saw Bumblebee, and I'm like, wow, yes. Like, that's a note to end the year on. What a great movie. I had a lot of fun, and I was really happy I got to see that movie. I've been your host, Matt. Go check out Bumblebee in theaters. It's a great movie. Check out our YouTube channel and all the other videos I have for the 2018 movie season. I will have my end of the year episode very soon for you guys, doing something very special this year. Not going to do a top 10. Going to do a GOAT and WOT award ceremony. I'm very excited to introduce this. I have been your host, Matt, once again. Come back to us next time on another episode of A for Effort, when I will have another quality movie review.